Catalonia, the foothills of the Pyrenees. After a short flight and a long drive, Nico and I arrived at Castel del Sans. Back in London, we'd tracked down La Malediccia, and had started to unravel its secrets. The painting was a coded map to the location of the Tabula Veritatis, an ancient artifact which Father Simeon had claimed could raise the devil, for which he and others had already been murdered. We had to find the tabula before the killers. We knew they would stop at nothing. Let's just hope we got here before the bad guys.
Seems quiet enough.
Looks like nobody's been here for years.
Must have been a beautiful place, once upon a time. You think the tabula is really going to be here?
Somewhere, if we can just decode the painting. Well, it looks deserted.
Deserted? I don't think so.
Did you see who it was?
No, the sun was in my eyes.
Looks like somebody's beating us to it.
But who? Medovsky?
Langham?
Whoever it is, we need to get in there.
All right. You make a diversion. I'll try and reach some cover. And be careful.
Are you kidding? You're the one who is going to get shot. I had been using it to clean up Adam's apartment. In the rush to escape, George had a golf club once made by the same company. The mop wouldn't fool the shooter. On its own, the mop wasn't going to fool anyone. Parts of climbing over the crumbling. A helmet on a pole? Always useful. I just hope this works. Are you ready?
Can't wait.
Go!
Oh no. I'd made it without getting shot, but I sure didn't feel lucky. Somehow I had to distract the shooter again, and this time I was on my own. With a ghost from the past giving me an evil stare. The tree was way too sturdy for me to shake any apples down. Uh-oh. Ouch! A pile of apples just out of the goat. Oh, heck. Ow! The goat had eaten Hobbs' carefully crafted provenance. Oh, heck. The apples were bruised. Hey, Mr. Goat. Look what I got for you. I was hoping the goat would be more friendly now. Look what I got for you, little fella. Now, I needed the cookie to feed Trevor. Now, I need... I couldn't let... Now then, old fella, you don't mind if I move your tire, do ya? No. No, 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 no. The old car. The side view mirror lay too... The goat was... A pile... The shots were coming. The crumbling fountain wouldn't... Hey! What? Whoa! Hey, Mr. Goat. Look what I got for you. I needed a... No, no, no. I... Call... No. Call... Call me a hoarder, but... Call me... Call me... Call... Call... Call me a... The old... That... Go on. The goat couldn't reach the apple pile. Go on. Oh. I distracted the goat, but it wouldn't take him long to eat that apple. The goat now had a whole pile of apples to tuck into. I tossed him my last apple. Even while he was eating, the goat had his eye on. The goat had I wasn't going to frighten the shooter with it. Nope. The goat had turned away. That wouldn't have. My phone had no service. I couldn't make calls. That wasn't worth. I'd blinded the shooter. Time to make a dash for it.
Don't think I can't see you, senor. If you so much as move an inch, I shall shoot you.
Senor, please! Whoever you are, hold your fire! I'm not armed!
Good. That makes it easier for me to shoot you.
My name is George Stobart. I'm a friend!
I have no friends.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. All we want is a quick look inside the Castel.
I don't believe you. You are here to kill Senor Marquez.
Senor Marquez? He's alive? Well, he'll vouch for us.
You don't fool me like that. Get out of here before I kill you.
Senor Marquez knows me, I swear.
And I know a lie when I hear one. Go now, or I shoot.
Wait! I have important information.
Vostè, venghi a mi.
Do you understand what I am saying?
Try saying it and let's see.
Well, I'm George Stobart, and I come in peace.
Hold it. Keep your hands where I can see them, Signor.
Do you mind putting that down? I've had a really bad day.
Guns don't agree with you?
No, and neither do goats. I've got bruises in places that, well, you know, places.
So leave.
We're here looking for something.
Well, go look for it somewhere else.
We were helping a man called Marquez in Paris.
He is my father.
I could see where she inherited her temperament. Your father? Well, he's our friend.
Why should I believe you? Show me proof.
Look at this photo.
It's old. Do I care?
I have your father's medallion.
So you're a thief too, huh?
We tracked down his painting, La Maledictio. Look.
Where did you get this?
In London.
All right. You better come with me, but no funny business, okay?
You know, you sound just like my friend Nico. Nico!
What's going on, Ramon? Who's out there?
Some crazy American. Don't worry. Eva will deal with him.
Papa. These people want to talk to you.
Eva, I thought we agreed to shoot intruders on sight. You, how did you find me?
It wasn't easy, senor.
We thought you were dead.
You were wrong.
They've brought you something, Papa.
Can it be? At last, La Maledictio.
Well, Senor Marquez, looks like La Maledictio hangs in its right place again.
Indeed. I have waited all my life for this.
But something interesting?
The painting. It is different. The face in the middle.
The one with the symbol of the Tabula Veritatis on it?
How do you know about the tabula?
A priest told me. Said it was the devil's work.
Pah! Priests. Full of lies, every one of them.
Oh, really? Well, this priest said that the tabula was an instrument to raise the devil.
Fool. Who would want to raise the devil?
But you do want to find the tabula.
Yes, because it is a Gnostic treasure. It is special, and my duty is to keep it safe.
I was sure that Marquez still wasn't telling me the whole truth. And now?
I shall decipher the painting and find the tabula. Before she died, my mother said that once the painting hung here again, its meaning would become clear, and the route to the tabula would be revealed.
So, what's the answer? Where's the tabula?
I don't know. The room has changed.
Was there something different about the room back then?
No. Yes. I don't know. You must help me.
Well, how? I'm not a Gnostic.
Senor, you must, because soon the Russian will be here.
He knows about Castel del Sans?
I regret, senor, that in Paris I told his sidekick a little too much.
Ah, well, I guess we'd better figure this out. And fast.
I'll go and keep watch.
Shoot on sight, remember.
Well, Nico, what now?
You try and work out just why the painting has to be in this room. I'll go and see if Eva knows anything.
Whether he knew it or not, I was sure Marquez had the answers. Senor Marquez? So this is you with your mother and father?
Indeed, taken in this very building many years ago.
The photo was of the Marquez family. La Maledizio, back in its rightful place. But what were the clues? If I looked hard enough, the Tower of Saints had led us to the Castel. I wondered where the other clues would take us. A scarred face stared back at me from within the Ouroboros. Hobbes must have uncovered the image when he was restoring the painting. But what did it mean? And what was its link to the Tabula Veritatis? A symbol was cut into the man's forehead. Simeon had claimed that it was the sign of the Tabula Veritatis. A large Ouroboros dominated the center of the painting. Before he was killed, Simeon had said that the tree inside the Ouroboros represented hidden Gnostic knowledge. And here it was, a whole new image inside the snake. Hobbes had uncovered it, but now he was dead. Within the ring, there were a number of houses. It was a village or a small town. Inside the ring was a castle gate. I had no idea what it signified. Inside the ring was what looked like an affluent town. The figure of the young man was just like the one on the front of the fireplace. It couldn't be a coincidence. The youthful figure held a glowing blue orb in his hand. The bearded figure was similar to the one on the fireplace in the hall. I wondered if there was a connection. The orb in the old man's hand glowed with a green light. There was a tower within the ring. Maybe it indicated a place? The priest appeared to have a padlock through his mouth. He was pointing down to the ring below him. It was a tower of tormented souls. They looked like the damned. It was the figure of a priest, but with a dog's head. The figure was pointing up at a ring above him. It was a castle of saints, Castel de Saints, in Catalonian. Catalonia, the foothills of the Pyrenees. Looks like nobody's been here for years.
Must have been a beautiful place, once upon a time. You think the tabular is really going to be here?
Somewhere, if we can just decode the painting. Well, it looks to... Looks like... And... Can't wait. Go! Oh no. Some... Hmm. The... Uh-oh. Ouch! Right. Oh. The apples were bruised. Hey, Mr. G... Look what I got for you, little fella. Look what I got for you, little fella. Look what I got for you, little fella. Thanks. Huh? Hey, Mr. Goat. Look. Oh. I the I tossed him my last app. I blinded the
Good.
my well, all we want.
I...
Senor Ma.
You...
Senor Ma.
Vuste, vinge.
Do you? Ah. Do you mind?
Gun.
No. I've got.
So. Well.
We.
Here. Why should I?
We try.
Where did you get this?
In London.
All right.
Nico!
What's going on, Ramon? Who's out there?
Some crazy American. Don't worry. Eva will deal with him.
Papa. These people want to talk to you.
It was. And now?
Before and the route to the tabula would be revealed.
So, what's the answer? Where's the tabula?
I don't know. The room has changed.
Was there something different about the room back then?
No. Yes. I don't know. You must help me.
Well, how? I'm not a Gnostic.
Senor, you must, because soon the Russian will be here.
He knows about Castel del Sans?
I regret, senor, that in Paris I told his sire.
Ah,
I'll go and keep watch.
Shoot on.
I'll go.
whether he knew it or not, I... Carved in... The halo reminded me of the... The stone fire... It looked like it had lain undisturbed for... It was an ornate... An old man with a beard was... It was very like one... It was... The bookcase held in a... There was a crate of brandy. It was a shield. The scroll under the shield read El Pont de Suerte. The scroll beneath the shield read... The scroll beneath... The scroll... The scroll... It... The book... There was a piece of stone on the ground. The scroll... The scroll... I ought to get closer before trying that. La Maledizio. But the plinths, the greenstone. Signor Marquis,
Mr.
if we're going,
Yeah?
then you.
Of
I mean, but
when?
why is the Tabula Veritatis so important to the Gnostics?
It is an object of immense power. My ancestors kept it safe for hundreds of years. They brought it to Catalonia as exiles long ago. In any generation, only one Gnostic knows its exact location. My father, Xavier, was the last of these. He knew dark forces were gathering, but I was too young to learn the secret. So he commissioned La Malediccio, embedding clues to the location of the tabula within the painting.
Why would a Dominican priest, Father Simeon, describe the Gnostics as evil?
That order was founded specifically to fight heresy and to eradicate Gnosticism. Behind their backs, the Dominicans were nicknamed the Dominicanes, or Hounds of God. For years, these dogs hunted down and butchered my people. They called us heretics, but in truth, they sought to find and seize the tabula.
So Eva is your daughter?
She was a gift from God, late in my life. One day she will find room for Gnosticism in her heart. I am sure of it.
What happened back in Paris? We thought you were dead.
A man came to the apartment looking for Miss Collard. He mentioned a stolen painting owned by a Russian. Obviously, I informed him that I was the true owner.
Obviously.
Next thing I knew, this thug had me pinned to a chair and was threatening to shoot me. So I told him of the Castel, and while he telephoned his boss, I hit him with a little China dog.
Guess he didn't know you were the pugnacious type. Tell me about the painting.
When I was a child, I would stand here for hours just staring at it. Who was the mysterious painter, the Serpent? And what did it mean, La Malediccio, the curse? I asked my father, but he just told me to be patient. He said that one day I would know everything.
Senor, can you decipher any of the painting?
The Tower of Saints, of course. I knew it was a Castel. And the saints themselves are Gnostic. You see the woman in red?
The one you marked in the photo?
She is Mary Magdalene. We revere her as Christ's greatest disciple. The rest, I don't know.
The symbol on the face, it is obviously the tabula.
But the elements around it, I don't know.
When were you last here, Senor?
Not since that day when my father was killed.
So why did the painting bring us here?
As I said, because only here in this room will its clues become clear.
But what is the tabula? What does it do?
I do not know. I know only that in the wrong hands it would be catastrophic for mankind.
I think this is yours.
My medallion. Where did you find it?
It was left in Nico's neighbor's apartment. Do you want it back?
No, you keep it for now. It has a meaning, a purpose. Perhaps you can find out what.
Sure. Just let me know if you ever want it back.
You shall get...
It was the lower half. It looked like this part of the castell. The corridor was overgrown. There were spent bullet casings lying amongst the rubble. What exactly happened here? There was... The door was locked. Large door. The corridor was... Senor...
Well,
What...
I'm...
Ramon... The statue looked at home. The plinth. It was the lower... The photo was of the Marquez family. Senor Marquez. So this is you with your... Senor Marquez. Anything else about the...
You see, there used to be statues on the mantelpiece. They must have been looted. You should get...
I'd put some statues above the fireplace, but it was hard to tell if they were the same ones as in Marquez's family photograph. Senor Marquez? Take a look at this.
Did you break this?
No, absolutely not.
Good.
Senor Marquez? Take a look at this.
That statue... You should get back...
The statue looked at home on the plate. On the fireplace behind them. I'd put some statues above the fireplace, but it was... Senor Marquez. I found...
My father had a collection of those.
I'd better get back on guard in case...
Your father needs...
My father needs rest. Not more of this nonsense.
So, what did you find out?
Not a lot. Eva thinks her father's losing it. She doesn't have much time for Gnosticism. She's never been here before. In fact, Marquez never even talked about the place. As far as I can tell, she and her father never got on. She left home the moment she could.
I don't blame her. So why is she here now?
Marquez begged her, said he was in danger. I guess maybe I'll go inside and have a look around too.
Tell me if you find anything. I'm not having much luck so far. The fountain is... Hello, Eva.
Signor,
Please.
I'd rather not. When are you and your...
Actually, she's not my girlfriend.
I don't know what your scam is, Signor. You may have fooled my father, but you don't fool me.
Well, I can sure see where you get your manners from. Tell me about your father.
When my mother died, he brought me up.
As a Gnostic?
He tried to teach me that stuff, said I had a religious vocation. Turns out I didn't. On my 18th birthday, I left home and never went back.
Tell me about Ramon.
Apparently he worked here when he was a boy. A loyal servant, even though the family left and never came back. More fool him.
Tell me about yourself.
I left home as soon as I could, lived a bit, and now I own a bar in Marseille.
That explains why you know how to use a gun.
No, senor. I learned how to use a gun so I could get rid of vermin.
Eva was a real charmer. What do you know about La Malediccio?
My father has been obsessed by it all his life. He thinks it's full of secret messages. I think it's a crock of
Sure you do. Nico tells me you don't really know about Gnosticism.
Don't know, don't care. And I don't need saints and gods telling me how to live my life.
I can see why you and your father don't get along. So, you don't know anything about Gnostics?
They're a religious sect. They belong in the past. My father's obsessed with them, and that's all I know.
Do you know anything about this statue?
I've seen a few of them lying around. I guess the fascists smashed them up in the war.
Any more thoughts on the statues?
They're just old stones.
Any more?
They're
Do you recognize this?
It's my father's medallion. He said he lost it.
Yeah, he left it in Paris. Do you know anything about it?
When I was a kid, he never let it out of his sight.
This is your family, right?
Looks like it.
It was an old... From the dial, I could see that the main doors of the house faced north. The wind chime was made from old tin cans. What are you thinking, Nico?
The fireplace. It looks...
You're right.
In Marquez's photo, his family...
The statue looked at home. On the fireplace behind them were two identical statues. The statues were facing outward, just like in the Marquez photo. I waited with bated breath for something to happen. Nothing.
What is this? A staircase. I never knew. We must go up. We don't have much time. Stairs. Always stairs.
Oh my God, look at this.
Georges? Georges! What's this? A piece of burnt paper with the word Wolfram. That sounds familiar.
Wolfram. I curse that name forever.
What do you know about Wolfram, senor?
Wolfram. I spit on the name.
What is Wolfram?
It was a mining company, run by a murdering swine called Gainen. In the Civil War, they backed the fascists. In return, Gainen was given soldiers to do his dirty work. They came here, brought their bloody war to this house, and killed Senor Xavier.
So you have lived?
All my life. In fact, he named me Saint Ramon, patron saint of the falsely accused.
That's nice.
Not really. The Moors put a padlock through his mouth.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess there's a lesson there for all of us. They shot Xavier? Senor Marquez's father?
I was just a boy, but I remember like it was yesterday. Shot him and his friend Hernandez, like animals.
Why did they come here?
They were searching for something, but they brought death with them. But there is one thing I have never understood. Xavier tried to escape through the library. But the library windows are barred. It is a dead end.
This Kenan, who was he?
He was Swiss, a businessman, and a murdering swine.
So what did he want here?
I don't know. When he wasn't torturing the locals, he disappeared to the library. Spent weeks in there, making notes and studying maps. His men, they crossed the whole of Catalonia searching for something.
Did they find it?
Who knows? One day, Gainen just disappeared. He never came back. An accident, perhaps, in the mountains. May his soul rot in hell. The soldiers didn't stay long to search for him. They hated him too.
The name Genan was familiar. He was the person who had tried to buy La Maledicción. A coincidence? Perhaps.
There is no such thing as coincidence.
So, when the soldiers left, you took back the house?
Yes. A few years later I returned and cleaned the place up. It broke my heart. I locked the library. I could not bear to touch Gainen's papers.
Can I have a look at the library?
No. I have kept it locked to honor the memory of Senor Xavier.
Please, this is important.
I lost the key.
You lost it?
That evening when I locked it up, I drank to the memory of Senor Xavier. The cellars were well stocked, Senora. It was a long night, I hid the key, then forgot where I hid it, so it is lost. That was all that was left in the morning. I haven't touched a drop since.
I needed to find out what Ganon had been working on in that library. George, the Great. An inter. That. The plan. No. The door was locked. I wondered where Ramon could. The internal court. Eva, I am glad your father is safe.
He's old and foolish. He shouldn't be. I suppose he's still going.
Well, yes. In fact,
You did?
Yes, we found a secret passage behind the fireplace.
What?
Your father and Georges went in.
What? That's ridiculous. He's an old man.
Don't worry, Georges knows what he's doing. So he always tells me anyway. Your father...
He's old, and he could do without people giving him the runaround chasing lost treasure.
Have you ever been inside the library?
No, I'm told it is locked.
The key is lost. Ramon says he hid it years ago and cannot remember where.
Shame.
Can you think of anywhere Ramon might have hidden the key?
What do you think I am, psychic?
Seen anything suspicious?
Apart from you and your American boyfriend, no.
He's not my boyfriend, you know.
Whatever.
I didn't. Talk to you later. According to the sundial, it was mid-afternoonish. Hello, little one.
Hello! Don't suppose you have any more of those rich tea biscuits?
I've had it up to here with apples. I can tell you.
Mon Dieu, a talking goat? So it's true. Goats can talk.
Only when really animated.
George has a real thing about goats.
I know. Truth is, if it wasn't for George's fear of goats,
Yes.
we'd never get cast again, would we? Don't tell anyone, no, will you? Or terrible wrath will descend upon you, etc., etc., etc.
Until next time, my sweet.
Hi guys, Richard here and welcome to Radio Yorkshire. Today we'll be talking to none other than George Stobart. Hi George, thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me on.
Why did you actually go to Paris all those years ago?
I was getting over a breakup. I thought Paris would be a good place to recover. Peaceful, foreign, exotic, and with so many beautiful women. Who knew?
If that explosion had never happened, what do you think you would be doing now?
I'd probably be a lawyer, making lots of money. Of course, doing work for the greater benefit of mankind. Beautiful wife, 2.3 beautiful children, a pet. Maybe a goat.
Have you ever thought about changing your beautiful hairstyle?
Actually, I have already. A number of times. 5, in fact, I think.
What is your definition of happiness?
A puzzling, thrilling adventure with Nico at my side. And she's in a good mood, too, of course.
An old pair of shoes. The floor of the car was littered with keys from sardine cans. Someone had been sleeping in the car, but long, long ago. I picked up what looked like an old diary. It was Ramon's. The library will forever be a shrine. No one will enter. I shall hide the key in a safe place, once I've eaten. I have just what I need and know what to do. Oh, beautiful lady, your eyes are so blue. I just can't stop thinking of you. Ramon was quite the budding poet. Our lives are entwined like ivy on a tree. That is what you mean to me. Nice. Hey, I was reading that. An old... In amongst the rubbish on the car floor was an old brandy bottle. A 5T71. Extraordinary. The dashboard seemed intact, but this old family car would never drive again. The inside of the car was in a bad state. Have you no respect for great art? Pretty indigestible, huh? So, you have no idea what you did with the key?
All I remember is waking up in the old car.
I just had a look at that old car in the garden. Looks like someone slept in it.
Me. When I returned, I couldn't bear the house at night. So, I slept in the car.
Does this...
Should it?
Does this mean anything to you? The book? I wouldn't be... The fireplace... The fire... There was a... The scroll beneath... The secret... I just had a... Looks like someone...
Me.
Yes?
Are you sure you can't think of where?
No.
Talk to you later. And oh, I needed. No, no. That that wouldn't. That was no. It was a nice idea, but a heap of. Ramon must have been in the car on that night all those years ago. A pile looked like the goat had been. The goat seemed unnecessary. The an old shame that the goat's rope wasn't long. The mountains of the wind chime. I wondered if it was the fountain. There was apparently the hole had collected. Ramon claimed that was no. n- That was that the scroll. The the scroll. The the the, the window is even. I believed it depicted old saints. I just look.
Me.
So, you,
Or
it was a nice idea. I decided to. Calling Ronnie wouldn't. Tin can keys. I guess that's where he got all the cans for the wind chime from. One old sardine can was bulging slightly. I fished around. There was something in it. And there it was, the key to the library. Ramon had been true to his word. This place was like a shrine. A globe. A globe. An empty frame. When they left, Genad's soldiers probably took everything of value. The table had been... The old armor was in pride. Genan clearly... The tapestry had been flung to one side. Ramon was right. The window was barred. I wondered why Xavier Marquez had tried to escape through the library. Books were still stacked neatly in the bookcase. More were scattered on the floor. The trunk contained someone's personal possessions. At a guess, Genan's. I wondered what secrets they might hold. A pair of well-worn boots. The hat looked battered and old. I wondered if it had belonged to the mysterious Genan. A couple of old faded shirts, neatly folded. There was an old map at the top of the trunk. The map had interesting markings and scribbles all over it. Georges would be so jealous.
So, what is this place, Senor?
It is my family's chapel.
It's not like any chapel I ever saw. Where's the altar, the crucifix, the Christian symbols? And this fresco, what's that?
How extraordinary. It tells a story. It depicts the journey of my ancestors, the Cathars, and their escape from the hilltop fortress of Montsegur with the Tabula Veritatis, from under the very noses of the soldiers of the Albigensian Crusade.
Whoa, wait a minute. Who are the Cathars? And what have they got to do with the tabula?
The Cathars were Gnostics. They lived in the south of France in the 12th century, at peace with the Jews and the Catholics of the Languedoc. They preached that men and women are equal, that God is within you, and that the Church is an obstacle to salvation. The Pope found their core beliefs abhorrent. The Cathars accused him and his church of corruption. He condemned them as heretics. When the Pope learned that they were the guardians of the Tabula Veritatis, he conspired with the King of France and called for a holy war to wipe them out. The Albigensian Crusade was a callous, ruthless massacre. The final confrontation took place here, at Montsegur in 1244. The Crusaders believed that they had slaughtered all the heretics, but a handful managed to escape with the tabula. They traveled south across the Pyrenees along secret trails. They brought the tabula here to Catalonia to be hidden once more. Sadly, it was not the end of their trials. The Spanish Inquisition saw to that. Nevertheless, for generations, my ancestors continued to guard the secret of the tabula. So, you understand why La Maledizio is important to me. It will lead us to the tabula again, so we can keep it safe from those who wish to abuse its power.
The painting brought us up here, Senor. We need to find out why. It was a large marble the statue held aloft a colored glass lens. These statues...
What of them?
They're just like the figures in the painting, and on the fireplace.
Indeed, they are the two pillars of the Gnostic faith in harmony. And the bearded one is Yahweh, Jehovah, God of the physical world. The other is known by many names. Helel, Ishtar. He is the bearer of light, Luxfere, Lucifer.
Lucifer? So you guys are devil worshippers?
No. When he is in balance with Jehovah, Lucifer is the god of desire and ambition, driving humans to be inquisitive, to discover, to advance. Just as Jehovah, when he is in balance with Lucifer, is the god of order. Jehovah stands for selflessness and altruism. Gnostics worship the harmony of both gods in balance.
But what if one were to rule without the other?
If Jehovah ruled without Lucifer, then individuality would be surrendered. Mankind would be wholly conformist, mindlessly dependent, mere pawns of a controlling power.
And what if Lucifer ruled without Jehovah?
Ambition and desire would be transformed into unbridled greed, and man would lust only for wealth and power. Society would descend into chaos, disorder and war would prevail. Then Lucifer would be the devil indeed.
It was a glass wheel divided into 6 colors, and it looked like it could be rotated. Part of the lens was covered. I removed the small leather cover to reveal a crude crystal lens. Colored light streamed through and shone onto the fresco. The color changed from yellow to green. It was a glass. Part of the lens. The color changed from yellow. The color changed from green to. The color changed from turquoise to blue. The fresco deserved a proper examination. The fresco was surrounded by dusty inscriptions. My Latin was a little rusty, but I could still translate. Ex igne puritas, from fire, purity. Ex luce veritas, from light, truth. Ex labore sapientia, from struggle, knowledge. The color changed from the color changed the color changed from the color changed from magenta. The color changed from the color changed from the color changed from red to yellow. Cathars fleeing across the pier. They seemed to be carrying something. Cathars being burned. The mountain fortress of Montsegur burning after its capture by the Crusaders. Knights of the a town of Cathars fleeing across the Cathars. They seem to be Cathar. They, a town. Senor Marquez.
Yes?
Why was this room?
After Montsegur, my ancestors were very careful. Even I, as a boy.
This fresco means something.
It is not. There is a. All those figures crossing the Pyrenees, one of them has to be carrying the real Tabula Veritatis. But which one?
So, Jehovah.
He is the central figure in Abrahamic religions. The vision.
So this statue.
Not.
Okay.
The church demonized. He represents the spiritual and intellect. Good and evil are simply products.
You talk about
Harmony. Jehovah who offers and loose. Only under their dual influence will man become.
So you say that
The Cathars were a medieval religious movement. Nowadays,
so the tabula is the key to the power of...
yes,
Wow. This Alba Jensen crusade.
few. But it was only one episode.
What's the deal with these lenses that the statues are carrying?
Clearly, they change the color of light that is reflected onto the fresco.
But why? And why the different colors? Does all that colored light falling on the fresco mean anything?
I don't know, senor. That is why I need you to help me.
Light stream through the window. Marquez had told me it was a candelabrum holding a single candle. That? Just what this place needed. Bit of mood lighting. If only I had a few scatter cushions. It was a candelabrum. The candle was lit. I'm pretty... I decided not to leave quite yet. I was sure... A town of... colored light. The color changed from... The color changed from green. The color changed from turquoise. The color changed from blue. The color changed from yellow. The color changed from green. The color changed from turquoise to blue. Ca- They... Senor?
Yes?
Any more thoughts on the...
Clearly,
But why? And does all that colored light...
I
Cathar's. The mountain fortress of... Marquez had told me that this statue was of Jehovah. That wouldn't have worked. The color changed from magenta to red. The color changed from red to... The color changed from yellow to green.
Amazing. The light is showing the path of the bonzome.
The what?
The sacred trail my ancestors took across carrying the Tabula Veritatis. From Montsegur, across the mountains to this town.
And which town is that?
I don't know. That I cannot answer. But its coat of arms is quite distinctive.
But how does it bring us closer to the tabula?
It tells us the route the tabula took 800 years ago.
I think that's all we're going to find up here.
You're right. We should return to the hall. Eva will be getting worried.
Okay, we found the route of the Bonzom Trail. How does it help us?
It must somehow relate to the painting.
Papa, are you crazy? What are you doing?
I'm fine, don't fuss.
You got me out here to look after you, so let me do it. Ramon is outside keeping watch.
Georges, I'm glad you're safe. What did you find?
There's a secret chapel above the fireplace. But it's not your average everyday chapel. It's a Gnostic chapel. All laid out for worshiping not one god, but two.
What?
I'll tell you when we have more time.
You know, I found some things too, which might connect with all that. Come to the library. Oh, could you bring the painting? I think we're going to need it.
What are you doing with La Maledizio?
Nico found something and asked me to bring the painting. I promised to take care of it.
Eva, go with him. Make sure the painting comes to no harm.
I should stay with you, Papa.
Don't worry about me. La Malediccio is more important.
Have you brought the painting?
Sure, why do you want it?
Because I found out what Genon was up to.
The Gainan who tried to buy the painting from Medovsky?
No, Genon who led the fascists here during the Civil War. Genon who then spent months here searching for something. And who vanished one day, leaving that trunk full of goodies over there.
You think he's connected to the Gainan who wrote the letter to Medovsky?
It seems likely that they were related.
Maybe. So what's the plan you've uncovered?
Take a look at this. It's Ganon's map. He was searching for something.
Searching for what exactly?
The Tabula Veritatis, I guess.
You think he found it?
I doubt it. If he had, then people wouldn't still be chasing after the painting.
So why did you want me to bring it?
See this scribble in the sea?
It's the same shape as the circles around the Ouroboros.
Yes, Genan thought that pattern in the painting had something to do with a map of Catalonia.
So, I guess we try to finish what Ganon started. I'd put money on those circles around the Ouroboros being places in Catalonia.
But which places?
Maybe the painting can give us some more clues. That was the map. The municipality of Cervera. The location didn't sound familiar. I needed to get up. The pattern looked. Ganon. The municipality. I wasn't sure. The ring depicted some kind of castle gate. Positioned in the light cast by Lucifer and Jehovah, it had to connect to the trail of the Bonzom. Time to take a... The location didn't sound familiar. I needed to get up to speed on Ganon's research. The tabula was unlikely to be... The tabula... The city of... Ganon had been researching the possible location. Perhaps there were some clues. The city... If the fresco was to be believed, the town in that ring was at the southern end of the trail of the Bonzom. But which one? Inside the ring was... There was a tower. Maybe... a scarred face. But what did it mean? A large... Before he was killed, and here it was. I removed the oilcloth from the chest. I picked up the blanket. There was nothing underneath it. I had no desire to take the old boots. I lifted the hat out of the chest. There was something tucked beneath the shirt. I picked up the folded note. It was a telegram. I deciphered the telegram. The Tabula Veritatis was smuggled out of Montsegur to Catalonia by a group of Cathar survivors. I have confirmed this from confessions extracted by the Dominican Inquisitor Emmerich of Girona. It was signed Wolfram. There was nothing underneath the other shirt. I had no... A pair of worn-out... The blanket... There was a... It was a well... A small... I had... A pair... I put everything back in the chest. The books were a moth-eaten... The suit of... It was an empty... It was a... It was a... That... Hey, Nico.
Yes,
What should we do with this map?
I guess Genon was trying to locate the hiding place of the tabula. We should probably do the same.
Eva,
Yes?
do you have any...
What do I know? You're the ones who think...
This map is confusing.
Well, we can be sure about the 2 locations mentioned in the telegram. But perhaps there are more clues to be found.
There was a coat of arms on the fresco, a crown above crescents and stripes.
I think that's Catalan, but I know no more.
The fresco pointed me to Montsegur.
Well, mark it on the map.
This was one of the locations highlighted on the fresco.
And this was the starting point of the journey of the Bonon, the good man, the Cathars, right?
The Tabula Veritatis was smuggled out of Montsegur to Catalonia by a group of Cathar survivors. I have confirmed this from confessions extracted by the Dominican Inquisitor Emmerich of Girona. It was signed Wolfram. The Dominican monk Emmerich was from Girona, the dog-headed priest on the painting. 2 locations down. If the vignettes on the painting were anything to go by, I needed to find 2 more. The fresco pointed me to Montsegur.
Well, mark it on the map.
This,
And
the Dominican, 2 locations down. If the vignettes on the painting were anything to go by, I needed to find 2 more. I wasn't sure that I had all the information I needed to pinpoint the important locations. Hey, Nico.
yes,
Any idea?
maybe we should try and work out which places on the map La Maledicción refers to.
Eva,
Yes?
any idea?
No.
So I wonder if this coat of arms is relevant.
If it's marked on the fresco you saw, then it must be.
Any more ideas?
There must... What else?
There have to be more. So what do you think about La Maledicción?
My father thinks it's going to lead him to some... Me?
Do you think there are any more clues?
No.
What do you make of
They're sketches of
the artist paid for?
figures. That painting...
This is your...
Look,
Do you know anything? I took the side.
I must tell Ramon he's still got a gun.
Any more thoughts?
They're
Do these know?
some... So what?
Someone, it read, and thus, in this, clad in blue, the perfecti, and looked towards the rising sun, clad in green, and all shall know, for thus was the light of Eden, in pure white, pure light will, and these, it was, I wondered how it connected. The note was written in Latin from the vice prefect of the Vatican. It said that the attached scan contained the only information the Vatican had on the Tabula Veritatis. So the statues on the fireplace mirrored the ritual. Only a true Gnostic would know that. or someone who had it explained in an old Vatican manuscript taken from a dead priest. Hobbes, it was obviously important. Why didn't Mark hit? Ah. It was the... I could hear the little fella scuttling. Fleur had given me... I broke... It was a... It was a Castel de Sants in Catalonia. The dog, Dominican, Dominicanus, in Latin, the hounds of God. See the guy with the padlock through his mouth? So much for nose rings, huh?
I do believe that's San Ramon.
Whoa, Nico, how did you know that?
Ramon told me he was named after a saint with a lock through his lips.
The priest was Saint Ramon. There was a tower. It was Jehovah. The orb in the old man. The figure of Lucifer. Simeon's warning about the youthful figure held a glowing. The cast. It's the. But which one? The buildings. There was a tower. A lock. A Simeon had claimed that it was the sign of the Tabula Veritatis. A scar. The old man was... I didn't want to disturb. I had no reason. I had no reason. The scroll below. The scroll. The scroll. The scroll. The scroll. The coat of arms was exactly the same as the one depicted on the fresco. It read Berga. The scroll. The scroll. The scroll below. The book. None of them. Torn books and none of it looked. The book. They weren't going to help. And it was. The It was a circular. So, the coat of arms on the fresco pointed us towards Berga.
Then it must be important.
I'd found 3 locations. Now I had to track down the last one. The municipality of Sort. That was a total guess. Maybe the painting or fresco would have helped. The municipality of Lascaux d'Ursay. I couldn't be sure that it was the right place. The municipality of Solsona. The location didn't sound familiar. I needed to get up to speed on Gainon's research. The municipality of Figueres. I couldn't be sure that it was the right place. The municipality of Figueres. Perhaps there were some clues left in his possession. I wasn't sure that I had all the information. It was a tower. The castle gate signified the mountain fortress of Montségur. It depicted the town of Berga on the trail of the Bonzaume. The buildings in the ring represented Girona. There was a tower within the ring. The Tabula Veritatis was... I have confirmed it was... It was a Castel de Sants in Catalonia. It was a tower of... The priest was... The figure was pointing up the city of... The village of San Ramon. I could see a pattern emerging. The locations had formed an odd cross shape, similar to the layout of the orbs depicted on the painting. This is the center point of the cross, so the tabula must be here. It has to be Montserrat. The question is, what's Montserrat?
It's a monastery in the mountains, quite a tourist spot. But there's something else. I think it used to be a Gnostic refuge, hundreds of years ago.
Bravo, my friend.
Medovsky?
No, Langham.
No, it's Genan, isn't it?
Very good, Miss Collard.
So, what happened to the real Langham?
He went for a long swim in the Seine. Now, I was expecting to have to rip this place apart and retrace my grandfather's steps, but I do believe you have saved me quite a lot of work. The tabula is at Montserrat. Who would have thought it? The old man will be coming with me.
No, please, take me instead. He doesn't know anything.
And you do? I think not.
But he is old.
Eva, hold your peace, child.
You can't do this.
Oh, but I can. I will. Man is weak, servile, controlled. He must be freed from all constraints, free to fulfill his desires.
And you plan to raise the devil to achieve that?
Not the devil. Lucifer. Now, if you don't mind, we have a long journey ahead of us. Come on. They can rot in there.
We have to get out of here now. I assume that lunatic is as dangerous as he looks.
I'm afraid so, Eva. I think he's killed before.
You know, Nico, we were chasing Medovsky, but all along, we were really up against Gainon's grandson.